Hey, what's up, Ford? Just working on bevy ECS Tilemap today. Trying to figure out what to do next. I have some stuff I want to do, but I think I have to be careful with how I do it. I do agree add tile is a bit weird now. Wonder if we could make this use commands instead and then call it set tile still. If we despawn the old entity and spawn a new one. Should be pretty good, right? Yes, instead of throwing an error here, what if we see commands dot entity existing despawn recursive, and we just run this code here, right? I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I am back. Okay, so I think this will allow you to set and add a new tile, which I think is what some people wanted. So I think that's better anyways. It's a nicer API. Now you'll only get an error if the entity, if the tile is out of bounds. Cool. Yeah. It's been really hot these past couple days. Where I live, it's been almost 90 degrees, which is unusually warm for this time of year. Normally we're and it may be in the 70s if you're lucky in May. Certainly not in the upper 80s. But yeah, most of the time it would have been like 50, 60 with a few 70-ish days, you know, scattered in there. But yeah, it's just like straight off the bat in May. At the end of the May, we're getting these really heaty days. It's just strange, odd. Okay, so yeah, I think that's gonna be a better API. Also, we need the document create layer. Yeah, this example is like one of my go-tos recently, just because of how like involved with everything. Excuse me, involved with everything it is. It shows remeshing, it shows visibility, and it shows sort of the culling as well, which is important, I think. And it's not too complicated either for an example, unlike some of the other examples. Okay, so dynamic map was the only one that used add tile, but now we have set tile instead. Let's see if that still works. Cool, that looks pretty good. As a side project, I'm also working on updating bevy tiled, which I think I've showed on stream before. And then I also have an LDTK, if I'm remembering right, map loader. So let me update to the latest. Cargo run ortho main. It's gonna fail hard because we've changed a lot of stuff here. Yeah, map settings is called something else now. Layer settings. Rust analyzer. Where'd you go? Let me close that other one. Gotta close all of them, I guess. Yeah, I am making an LDTK loader for bevy. I was going to package it up in a little example here. Let me show you. Yeah, that other one's license is just like, what? I would never use it. But yeah. Oh, that's weird. Hold on. I was just panicking. Oh goodness, I opened Visual Studio. What am I doing? Just open it up here. So right now it's just like all inside of this little game thing that I was playing around with. That I didn't really get anywhere with, but it does use bevy ECS Tilemap along with LDTK underscore rust, which hopefully is, yeah, this has a reasonable license. I remember looking at this one. This is just a loader though, it's just MIT, which is reasonable, for sure. Yeah, in any case, I want to finish fixing bevy tiled up first, really. Hey Fritz. Frizz. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Apologize if I'm not. Is this complaining? There we go. So there be. Oh shoot, how did we get the layer before? Layer index. Okay. Copy that. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So it's just an LDDK file loaded in. So you can see here. Pretty cool. Easy peasy. So I'm experimenting with LDTK in a separate project, so it's not added in at all. Speaking of adding in, perhaps this whole entire library should be merged. No, I want to keep it separate. I don't really want to do features. I think a separate crate makes more sense, personally. But yeah, so one of the things I just want to update this library for, this is for Tilemap editor here. And a lot of this is going to be like way simpler, thankfully. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer that bevy LDTK is taken now, and has such a license that like almost nobody's gonna use it. Maybe that's too harsh. And the author picked that license for a reason, and I do respect that. It's just not a license that I can use, so. Yeah, so maybe I'll just call it I have no idea. I'm horrible with names, so maybe I'll just use that one you said. Yeah, and it's kind of a shame too, because it's good code. It's not bad, but I do understand why they chose that license, as strange as that sounds. Not that I support that kind of license, but I do understand the reasoning why and respect it, I guess you could say. Just because I don't agree with it. Any case, yeah. So we don't really have to do this anymore. We actually don't want to create a layer. We want to create a layer builder. And we're going to do new batch. This, okay, so I'm going to have to unmute things. Do I have the material? Oh wait, sorry, unmuted. I have a bit of a headache today. Somebody yanked my last Red Bull, and I'm feeling really tired right now. So I could just directly add it to bevy tiled, although the name kind of implies certain things. That it's tiled map editor. Yeah, thank you. I know I didn't. I will do that shortly, I guess. This not gonna be a long stream, guys, so hopefully that's okay. Oh wait, tile bundle default. But here, I will do it now. Oh, new showcase. Let's see. Oh yeah, I already saw that. That's nice. DevBox SSAO. It's really cool to see that in action. Alright. Seriously, it's gotta be a U size. No, that makes sense. It's just annoying. Shadow mapping is where essentially you generate a texture that has all your shadow information in it. Here. It's best if you visualize it. It's mainly used for 3D scenes, although you can also use shadow maps for 2D scenes as well. But yeah, this is a great example here. You have light rays coming, they hit an object, and then whatever's behind gets projected shadows, occluded shadows, right? So you can kind of see examples here. If you have a low resolution shadow map, you get really blocky artifacts like this, which is fun. The actual shadow map itself looks something like this though. And in my own game engine, the one that I decommissioned, I had shadow mapping as well. So it was fun to do. I want to bring that to bevy. Unfortunately, there are some roadblocks currently which make that very difficult. And I'm hoping with Cart's new rendering refactor work, it'll make a lot of that easier to do. So I'm just gonna have to wait and see. So I can't actually continue here. Oh, that's the issue with this right now. Because new batch has the output of T, but that's actually wrong. It should be option T. See, this is why I try to keep this up to date. Yeah. I can go in and fix that issue. Close all of these. Layer builder. Batch F, FT, F option T. And then get tile parent. So we probably want to filter nuns up here. How do I even do that? I guess afterwards, right? We'll just check here. there like a filter map? Yeah, that's wait, how does filter map work? Option B. Oh, do I even need a function then? I guess you do have to have one. I could just do filter map here though. Yeah. Occlusion calling is very hard to do quickly. A lot of times these days, I think it's done in a compute shader. Yeah, that works, right? Like, cause filter map's gonna return T, or in this case B, which is T for us. Okay, cool. Well, that breaks the bench though, cause it does not actually return sum here. But yeah, here's the new spawn, the new batch builder for layer builder. It's very fast. You can see it's just spawned 1.6 million tiles. I do have a fairly decent CPU though. Yeah, frustrum calling is frustrum calling is easy to do. Oh, I did see an example of bad frustrum calling yesterday or the other day. It was actually in Call of the Sea. Wonder if there's an example of it. No. But essentially, they had some waves that were like the water, right? And if you moved your camera a certain way, it would call out the waves, but um, you could still like you could just see what was behind it. Then it's really kind of terrible. Yeah, their bounding boxes were like not set up right. Okay, so continuing on. Now we can return none here. Map tile. Oh, right. This is gotta go before that. Like that. Okay, cool. This should be some. Yeah, I'm hoping that this is gonna be like much cleaner here now. Oh, I can use GPU animations too. That'll be nice. Forgot I haven't updated this in a while. Okay, so add tile. We actually don't want to do it this way. We just want to create the actual tile. And visibility, by the way, is done on the tile itself now through a Boolean. I think that makes tile building slightly slower, but I think the cost is worth it because we can now use spawn batch, so I'm willing to live with that. Okay, actually we have to use this animation, so that's fine. How do we do it though? Because the tiled map editor lets you have this sort of weird animation setup here where you have frames and then you have like tile IDs in each frame. So you can actually have like out of sync, out of order like animations, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, so in this particular case, we can't actually use spawn batch with that because if we don't have an animation for that tile, we don't have optional components for bundles yet. So sadly, this will not work. Actually, I think we can use option animation as a component and still do this. It'll be a little bit wonky, but it should work, I think. Struct tiled bundle. Tile bundle. Let's go copy the one from here. Just because I'm lazy. Cool. Alright, and then I think this actually works. It's just gonna be a little bit weird. And we have to make sure that this can, let's just add clone and copy. And might as well add debug too. Okay. Oh, we can't copy it. Never mind. Clone is good enough. Okay, and then let's see. This would actually be different now, this query. Let's clean this up too. I think the multi-line system is becoming like the parameters on multiple lines. Even if it's short, it makes it so much easier to read. So I think that's like my go-to now, I want to say. Okay, and then this would be option animation. I'm gonna need like a if let some animation and mute animation. Wait, do we need the and mute it? No, just mute, right? We might need to reference it. Think about that for a second. Yeah, and mute or adds mute. I don't think either one would work. But my first instinct was to put mute in the sum. Yeah, okay, and then that's kind of an optional component, but it's always there, which is a bit of a bummer. Because now that means that for all the tiles, even if they don't have that animation component, it's still gonna run. At least up until this if statement here. So, but that will be fixed whenever Bevy gets optional components and bundles. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. One downside to doing this though is now we can't use into anymore with our tile. But that's okay. I think that's a small price to pay. And this becomes tile bundle. Tile. And then copy this. How do we expose this outside of the ifs? Just like this. Let's see, let animation equals none. Don't need to spawn anything. And then we return animation along with the rest of this stuff. There, good. Now all this stuff can get deleted. Almost. Entity, parent, child. Layer has the entity on it. I could definitely delete this though. Yeah, clone it here. Settings. Wait, I thought the layer. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. Excuse me, sorry. Layer bundle comes from layer builder. Oh, we just get the entity. Okay, that's fine, because we can... Is that fine? Let me think about this for a second. Yes, it's fine, because we can do this. Layer entity dot see commands dot entity insert parent entity. It's easy enough. And then we want to insert the transform. Comments. And then we return that layer entity, I think, here. Explicit lifetime required in the type of layer. Add explicit lifetime of static to the type of layer. Type of tile set to the type of tile map. Cause okay, yeah, this gets a little weird. How do we do that? Can I just say it's static here? It's not really static though. Darn it. Okay, I think I can just clone it though. Like the data that it's using. I think. Let's see, which ones does it actually need? Layer, tile set, and tile map. All of those. Okay. Oh, we moved it in there. That's fun. We'll just pull it out up here though. That doesn't need to be mutable. Okay. Now we should have something that maybe runs. It's all cool. I mean, we're here to talk about Bevy, right? It's kind of. I mean, the purpose is for me to get things done and to be motivated to get things done, but also to talk about Bevy. So I don't mind that you guys talk about stuff like that. Why are we going outside of the bounds? Oh, because of this, that's why. How can I avoid going out of the bounds here? Probably just checking. Yeah, because the chunks are 64 by 64, so there's like some leftover, possibly some leftover in the chunk. So you gotta fill it up with nuns. Okay. And we'll just use tile position here since that's already in the format that we need. It's still the same issue. Um, oh, right, because we want equals since we're zero based. Cool. So, not sure why, but I get this same issue with ISO too, where some of the tiles look fine and others break. Haven't quite figured out what's causing this issue yet. Like most of this looks correct except for these tiles over here. And then ortho main. I definitely broke something real hard here. Seems like they have the wrong GUI ID stuff. Yeah, it is pretty abstract arty. I think it has to do with just like one of these tile IDs just being like messed up, but trying to figure out like why and what one is a bit challenging. Also, I had to flip the entire map because, interestingly enough, bevy's or yeah, bevy's a Y is different from tile map editor's Y values, so you have to flip the whole thing, otherwise it's wrong too. Maybe that's the issue. Tile position. Probably can just do this. Oh, that's exactly the issue. Hold on. Okay. I have to do this way sooner. Up here. That way we're accessing the right tile. Oh, and I don't need to do that. Just do this. Mute. Stack overflow. What? Uh, how am I getting a stack overflow? Oh, not stack overflow. Attempted to subtract with overflow. I see. Tile position Y. Okay. Also dumb, but I actually have to do this here. And move this down. Alright. Ow. Why? That should return. I think that's 31. Yeah, that's what I do. Height minus tile position Y. Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure this out still. Like, this should keep us in bounds. I guess in some cases, if this is 0, we flip to 31. Because height is 31. But maybe we want like -1 here? I don't know if that makes sense. Apparently it does. Okay, cool. But I think ISO is still very messed up. Yeah. Because height is based off of here. It's best to open tiled and see what the actual map looks like, but how big is this map? Map properties. It says 16 by 16, but that doesn't seem right. This is output chunk width. Map. Resize map. It's 10 by 10. Oh, wait, sorry, we're looking at ISO. That's, let me open up ortho. Sorry, I'm not having the best of days here. Okay. 45 by 31. Yeah, so like it's 0, 1, 2. Is there something that shows you where you're at? Okay, yeah. See? It's 0 through 30. Because it starts at 0 and it goes to 30. So, but the size is 31. So when we do tile position height minus tile position Y, if Y is 0, then we would get 31. And we want 30, so -1. Simple. Bit weird, but it does work. The question is, do we need to do this for ISO maps as well? I think the answer is yes, but just maybe all maps? But I think I tried this before and it was broken. That's why I restricted it to only ortho. Yeah. See, that's more broken because it's supposed to look like this. But ortho, you have to remember, ortho uses a different positioning scheme. So I'm actually starting to think that this isn't going to work at all for... Sorry, ISO uses a different positioning scheme. So I don't think this is going to necessarily work for ISO. Because this is just the tile position in the grid, not the actual pixel position. Well, that is complicated to answer. So, diamond, which I'm pretty sure is what the choice you have, it uses this. But this is in bevy ECS Tilemap, the shader. So I can't exactly like change it here, right? But I'm pretty sure this project ISO, you're gonna have to project the grid coordinates that you have to maybe, I don't know. Tiled gives us a X and Y value and a tile ID. That's it. You're supposed to calculate everything else yourself. How did we deal with this before? Just curious. I gotta maybe let me commit some stuff and let me put that back real quick. Yeah. Well, it's not coming from tiled. Oh, you know what? That's probably the issue. For ortho, that's probably fine because it doesn't matter. But for ISO, we probably only want to flip it for this lookup, I think. Let me try that. View size. Oh, right. My bad. Yeah, it's not much better. It's not any better. But this is working in the current version of bevy tiled. So let me go look. I don't remember exactly how that was. So we build the vertices out here ourselves. But yeah, I don't invert anything at all, even for ortho here. I think the shader's really simple here, but I'll look. Where's it at? View. Yeah, shader's really simple here. I don't do it there either. I think we just treat the tiles as like negatives, maybe? I don't see that here though. I mean, I'm just looking for regular ortho right now. I guess, oh, maybe in project ortho, I see. Sorry. Util. Okay. Yeah, we just negate it. Right. I'm thinking. Give me a second. Um, okay, I think, yeah. Just curious. It should compile in, but if we do that and we don't do this, trying to remember why. ISO is not really my thing. I don't know much about it, to be honest. So, but like, it's like a diamond shape, right? So I think like, yeah, this is 0. What happened to the cursor? Give me the regular paintbrush. There we go. Okay, so this is like 0, 0 here. Yeah, so it's like 0 through 9. And then as you go down further, this is 0, 9. Yeah, in this particular example, it does appear as though things are drawn correctly. Except for the negative number, I think needs to get restored. Because that did make a difference. Like trees and stuff are rendered correctly. But yeah, like this is strange. And the thing is, I'm not even sure like why. It's like some objects are completely in the wrong spot too. Like the trees are good, these rocks are good, the grass is all good. Okay, so we essentially have that rendering. Right there. And then this layer's like maybe offset incorrectly. Is there an offset to it perhaps? Ah, there is an offset. I wonder if the offset isn't getting applied properly. Or actually that's probably it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for ortho, maybe the offset doesn't have to be negated because, well, it's like a diamond offset though. I didn't change anything at all. I feel like the offset's not even getting applied. We know what the offset should be though, because it's here. So for the ground things, it's negative 64 by negative 32. If I just throw it into render doc, I should be able to see. No, it's a bevy transform. I just want to see what the actual value of the that's all on one layer. That's strange because oh, I think it's like that, isn't it? Wait, where's the other stuff? Huh? Yeah, that offset should be in regular coordinates. In fact, the original offset Good question. I'm a little confused why an offset was used in the first place for this. Isn't the point of ISOs that you can do this a different way? I guess because of these half tiles, maybe? But isn't there half tiles here? Maybe not. I think that's this tile. I see. Right. How do I select a tile? I forget. What tile is that? Can you show me over here? Is it one of these? I'm just trying to like figure out where this like half of a tile comes from. Like I get the diamond shapes, like right? Like these make sense because that's what you have here, but like how is it half of a diamond and where's the corresponding tile for that? It's just positioned on a diamond grid. With the offset is what you're saying. But even like that's what's confusing to me is like this is the water tile here. Or well not that one, but this one. Oh, I kinda see now. Okay, it makes more sense. Yeah, it's a rectangle. It's just the grid is messing with my brain, I think. Okay, okay, back to why the offsets aren't being applied though. Like, okay, we should be able to see if I rerun this. Yeah, I see this stuff here. I guess because we're not running in release. I think that's where I'm going wrong. I'm running a bad build. Let's go to debug. There we go. Okay, so water, land, Okay, and then so these are just in the completely wrong spots. They need to change position. So I think it has to do with, yeah, not that. Those are the vertices. Yeah. Here we go, transform data. That's exactly the issue right here, is the transform data is empty. Which means this insert isn't doing what I think it's doing. Because this is a spawn batch. So, well, it's only spawn batching the tiles though, not the actual chunk entities. Those should be attached to this layer entity here, which should get a global transform, yes. If I call commands.insert bundle and I call commands.insert afterwards, this component here will replace the one in the bundle. Entities have to have both a global and a regular transform, I believe. Could be wrong on that, but I think they have to have both. Yeah, I only set values for the local one. Yeah, like this should replace what's in the bundle because this is called after the other thing, but it doesn't seem like it's working. Be nice if I could inspect the entity somehow. Not really a good way of doing that. You kind of do it here. Oh, really? Today I learned. Oh, right. I'm gonna have to have a without camera, aren't I, on the other one? Oh no, just the one? Okay. I mean, there's the transform. So it definitely exists on it. And it is a... Okay, I think the issue now is that the layer entity isn't a... I'm looking at the wrong thing here. This part isn't working properly. Possibly? No, well, no, we set the layer entity here. So that should work, right? Let me go back to the layer builder code. Push children. Is that better? Oops. Recursive entity relationships. Is this like a array? Yeah. So just do this. And it probably has to have the and. Yeah, okay. I think you're thinking of with children. Yeah. Okay, well that appears to maybe work, except for the fact that we can't actually see that layer anymore. The question is why those other layers anymore. Let's get rid of the debug because that's not really helping anymore. Yeah, with children, it has a children builder, but in this particular case, our entity is already created, so I can't use. I think I'm gonna refactor that though, because new batch shouldn't create the entity for you. I think you should just pass in your own. That makes more sense. Yeah, it's so weird now. Whoa, that was strange. It's all pixelated for a second. So is it still rendering those other layers or what? Yes. But where are they even at? Let's try to see wireframe. Nope. So 9969 is the C index, 9979. So that's correct. Does this have, oops, get back there. Does this have the transform data now? Yes. Wish I could tell what these positions were. It is. It's not on the screen. No, the 3 is what I want. Because remember, Bevy does this weird thing where it, yeah, 3 is what you want. It gets transformed with the projection matrix into this 1 to 0 number. It's all very weird. That's all I have to say about that. So yeah, it's essentially rendering. It's just not rendering on the screen. I can't even see where it's rendering to. Um, it is very off the screen. No, the weird camera stuff is the 2D camera does some weird stuff that not any other game engine that I know of does it that way. Where it basically, in order to render the sprites in the correct order, it flips the Z axis or whatever. It's strange. It works okay. It's just if you don't know about it, it's odd. Okay, there it is, way up there. So it seems like it's just way too far off the screen. But why? Why is it way too far off the screen? Yeah, here, you can just want me to show you. Oh wait, it's just orthographic projection. So you find this lovely orthographic projection matrix, which looks pretty normal when you first look at it, and then if you go to the camera, not this one, where is it at? Active cameras? No. There's a default camera somewhere. Hold on, I gotta find it. The search is not being very helpful. Yeah, the near and far plane are flipped. But I swear I knew where this was before, but now I can't find it. It's like in a default somewhere. Maybe it's in the sprite? Bevy sprite? I don't think it's in Bevy sprite. I found it at one point, but now I don't remember where it is. Active cameras. Visible entities. Nope. Oh, maybe this changed. there's been a lot of changes, so I'm gonna make sure I'm on the right branch. Because I thought for sure there was. Hold on. It's an entity. Yeah, okay, so here. We want 0 to be the closest and plus far to be the farthest in 2D. So we offset the camera translation by far and use a right-handed coordinate system. So it's like far minus 0.1 and far is 1,000. So essentially you get like almost 1,000 to 0 to place things. Yeah, it's wonky. But like things at 0 are at 0, things at 1 are rendered on top essentially. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. All those are rendered on top because Z positive goes into the screen in regular coordinates. So that means you would have to do 0, -1, -2, -3 in order to do your sprite layering right. So this flips it. It's just, it makes everything else like more, like if you don't know that Bevy does this, then you're gonna have a bad time. But yeah. Anyways, so we do have the right offsets being applied now. It just seems like they're way too big or something. They're like way off the screen. Not what we expect. How far off the screen are they even? Let's see, can I change the speed? Yeah. Quite far off the screen. It's hard to say in values how far off they are. So in tiled map editor, what are these offset chords? Are they offset chords in tiles and pixels? I think it's important we figured that out. It's in pixels. Then this code should work here. Except for the fact that chunks, no, that's fine. The tile size is 64 by 64 by 32. 64 pixels wide by 32 high. That would probably explain the negative 64 by negative 32 here. I feel like this is combining incorrectly in my shader. I don't know. I couldn't answer why that's like that. Horizontal offset and non-zero. That's all new stuff to me, man. Just trying to figure it out. But yeah, great question. Oh, in the editor? Hold on. that's with it 0, which is what we had before. But yeah. So this was negative 64, which shifts it to the left by 1 tile, and then up by 1 tile. By that logic, this here, well, let's look at this example first. This here should be the correct numbers, negative 64, negative 32. Yet we were very off screen. Okay, you know what? Here. Let's figure this out. Stop guessing so much. Actually, and I want to look at the actual shader too. So we get the world position. No, I dropped the Z position. Oh, that's fine because Z is gonna be whatever the model Z is. The model matrix is Z, so that should be good. And then we project. And those are our start and end positions here, sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking that's the issue. Like we should maybe move this to after. I think it should be maybe like this. Yeah. Okay, that suddenly is starting to make way more sense because I think this is correct. Because we have to project our chunks too. Because each of these is a chunk, right? And so not only do we have to project the actual tiles, but we have to project the chunks into the right spot as well. So I think that's correct. It just looks confusing. And then if we run this, since it only has one chunk, it should look okay. Oh, hold on. Once we restore the offset. I have the two projects linked right now with path. So if I make changes in bevy ECS tilemap, they'll show up here. Okay, so that's better. And then if we use negative for our Y offset, that should be good. Hey! Okay, well that's ISO fixed. That's exciting. Nice. Cool. I'm excited about that because that bug was driving me up the wall when I last looked at it, and I just kind of gave up for a little bit. All right, so back to this. We have to still fix chunks, which means we have to copy this project code kind of off the GPU side and put it onto the into the chunk stuff as well. So I guess that's in layer builder. And right now ISO diamond uses create layer, which uses build. So we should fix that first, I think. So this chunk position here is gonna have to change. The question is, do we do it here? Or on the actual chunk position .x? I think we just do it here, right? So first we pull these out. How do we how do we project the whole chunk though? I think I know how to do it, but oops. Need to like walk through it in my like out loud for a second, I think. Just bring it in like this because that's what I have data format wise. But yeah, so here's tile width and tile height, but I think that has to be chunk pixel width and chunk pixel height. Would you guys agree with that? Cool. But I think we don't have to actually do this part here because we'll already have the correct things here. So really we can just do it like this. Yeah, yeah. Oh, great point. I shouldn't just completely delete it. But yes. We will have to split this up for ortho. So let's just, I'm trying to focus on chunk dot y. ISO at the moment. I feel like I understand the other one much better, so I'm less hesitant to make changes to it. Or, yeah, less hesitant. Okay, so that gives us our new chunk position, and this is on self. These have to be as F32s, and then I'll just throw this on here. Okay, and then I think we'll just use match in the future for like picking which type it is. I'm actually surprised. I think we'll also have to do this for. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. Are they overlapping? It doesn't seem like it. It's different from tiles. I think you're right. It maybe not negative, but I think that's still supposed to be negative. The other issue is that you can't really find information on. Just to change to what direction it's going. You can't really find a lot of information on ISO chords. 2D ISO chord. I did not spell that right. Oh, I can't spell today at all. Yeah, I don't think I'm that brave. Alright, but so, and this would only be for diamond as well. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. You just edit the ISO diamond. Let's not make it as big as what it is. And we can get rid of this stuff here. Just one layer. And we will make it 2 by 2. Which means that you should have like a tile at the very middle at the top and then 2 on the sides. So you should have one chunk here, and then your next chunk is here, and then here, and then here. To make that like with distinct features. Each one has a distinct feature. Oh, that's a little bit harder, but I can do that. Probably easiest to use the fill command. Fill. And then let's see, 32, 32, 32, 64. Yeah. And then 32, 64. And then 32, 32, 64, 64. Right? Uh-oh. What did I mess up here? Hmm. Oh, and we probably want to change the texture too. Problem is that these close textures aren't all that distinctively different. Yeah. Also, it is apparently airing again. Yeah, because I gotta tell it what bundle it needs. Okay. Okay, so we only have 2 chunks. Look at the ISO tile map. Well, we have to have more than 2 because, yeah. I think it's render doc time. It can show us the draw calls, and each chunk is its own draw call. So we'll back up here. I'm pretty sure this is release. Yeah, no, that was bevy tiled though. This is bevy ECS tile map. I almost always run this in release. So we're only getting the first chunk and the last chunk, and then the last one is not rendering, or well, it's rendering, it's just maybe not on the screen. So, yeah, it's way up there, way too high. Look at the GL position, it's like 338. That's crazy. And let's see. And then this one's way in the negative. So, okay. So the chunks in the middle are completely in the wrong place. So our code here isn't exactly right. I'm in the wrong project. Oh, it's just confusing because that was open. All right. In the wrong order again. No? Question mark. Chunk position here is the chunks non-pixel position. It's like grid position. So like it'll be 0, 0 for the first chunk. And like 1, 0 for the second chunk. X minus Y. Why don't we just stick a debug in here, right? Like, this is Rust. We can more easily check this stuff out. That's some interesting math there. 52,000 or 523,776. Okay, so it seems like maybe we should also check what's in here. Ah, yeah, I know. Habit. But thank you. Okay. So in the case of 1 1, we get negative 512. Yeah, it seems to be an issue with this stuff here. You know what it is? No, that's not it. Chunk size times tile size, that's correct. Yeah, because we're doing x minus y, so for our 0 to 1 case, that'd be negative 1 for the x times 2048 divided by 2, so you get negative 1024. X plus y, which would be 1, times 1024 divided by 2, which is 512. Wait, how are we getting this number? I don't understand how we're getting this huge number, because maybe my math's wrong, but 0 plus 1 is 1 times 1 times 1024, or in this case 512. You can debug the return vec. Yeah, that's what this is, isn't it? Right here. That's why I'm saying this is confusing, because this should be 512. Oh, am I shadowing? Ah, yeah. Okay, so it builds off of itself and like. Man. I really should run, what you call it? Clippy? I think Clippy can detect shadow variables. I think that should just be, yeah, a rust thing by default though. Hey, look at that. So 0, 1, 2, 3. 2 and 3 are like virtually identical, but they are slightly different. Okay, but that's only for project ISO diamond. We do have to do this for the other one as well, which is the staggered ISO tile map. It's not much different though. Layer builder. We can just basically copy this because it's identical. And then do some magic double line editing here. And then to make sure we aren't shadowing, those are new. Okay, and then this would get used for the other type. So need a match. Self dot settings dot mesh type. Oh, not mesh type. What is it? I think it is mesh type. Tilemap mesh type. When I can't see what something is. This is definitely getting pulled out into its own function too. Do I not have this here? Okay, import it then. Diamond. Yeah, thanks. Slowly figuring things out here. And then we're just missing hex here. Do we have to have a different thing for hex? I think we do, unfortunately. Do we? Yes, we do. Darn it. Hex is like more complicated, kind of. Yeah, I currently have only one. Alright, I'm gonna keep that as an existing thing, and we'll just say that hex falls into, hold on. Or, right? Single line, yep. Cool, okay. So that's a known limitation. Let's add that before we forget about it. Flatten the match. I'll think about it. Seems to be, yeah, I think this is a fixed issue, but we'll add a new one. Hex tile maps, ignore proper chunk. Positioning. Hex-based positioning. Okay, close that, close that. Builder. Get rid of this. Yeah, but it's not gonna be that simple. I wish, but hex is, maybe it's less complicated than what I think. But if we take a look at the shader, and I struggled with this quite a bit, like here row for example. So let's see, position. Yeah, you kind of see here. Yeah, the chunk's probably just a rectangle. Huh. I think you're right. But wouldn't you have to make sure it's staggered, right? For example, like there's hex odd and hex even, and then just regular hex, which is a completely different thing. Like if you end on an odd row, and you have to make sure that you stagger it correctly. Yeah. How do you guarantee that? Uh, I think I just want to wait on that because I'm starting to lose steam here. but I want to get this cleaned up more. So I think if we pull probably this whole thing out. Alright, and then now I can transfer this over to the other functions that do this, which I think is just this one. Ah, yeah. Okay, I won't be able to do self, but I can pass the settings in now instead. That's not so bad. Gotta get rid of that clone requirement as well there. It's definitely not. We could use copy. Oh, yeah, we could do and. You're right. Chunk chords and settings and layers settings. Nice. Okay, so that cleaned up nicely. Alright, so you're saying flatten this. How would you flatten it though? Because match deeper in the first match. Oh, can you do that? Does that actually work? I guess so. Well, today I learned that you can double match like that. I guess it's not double match. It kind of is. Yeah, I knew that. I knew you could match by any value, but I didn't know you could like inner match inside of the enum. I do like that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I did What did I use that weird matching case for? I used it for a game of life example, I think. Yeah. That was a bit weird, but it works pretty good. Match was alive and neighbor count together as a tuple, and then you just can match you can use the direct values there or pull it out and do like another if to check things. Yeah. I thought it was cool because like basically this covers all the cases. Um, Hold on guys, I'll be right back. Alright, back. Oh, I'm sure it could be simplified more. I do not write the best code all the time. Yeah, I think there's only one false match. I guess there's more false matches if you count the ifs. Oh, I see. Matching into false, like returning false. Right. Yeah, yeah. Like if you pulled this up to the top, then you have less to check. No, I get that. Still, it is not a slow or like completely unreadable thing. The slow thing in this example is this get tile neighbor. That thing is slow. I don't know how I can speed it up yet. I gotta think about it more because yeah, it is slow. I allocate a lot, like maybe less allocations there. I don't know. And we're iterating to find the layer. I guess, yeah, it's not allocating per se. Alright, well, I think that's good for today though. That's kind of a good stopping point for me, and I gotta go get dinner ready and stuff, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back maybe tomorrow, probably Wednesday. I'll do more game dev stuff, not just bevy ECS Tilemap, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, guys. See ya.